Come on, really? Damn camera flipped on me. Stupid. Every time. Okay, so at this point, hate when it does that. With that being said, and welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. This afternoon, we're watching and reacting to Crystal Palace FC versus Rayo Vallecano, the 2026 UEFA Conference League Final. Here we go, here we go, here we go. So, teams are about to walk out. We'll get ready to go. Crystal Palace FC contra Rayo Vallecano en la Liga Conferencia de la UEFA Final. I tried. Chino Huerta just got called up for Mexico. Good. I'm surprised, but good, I guess. Nice Crystal Palace tifo there. Can they win their first ever European trophy in their first ever European final? He's on the bench, but sure. He's on the bench, but sure. Also, Chris Richards on the bench because he tore 2 ligaments in his ankle, but he can play, which I don't understand how that's the case. This is football, but whatever. I don't know. There's the trophy for you. There's the Conference League trophy. Can a second English team win? Anthony Gordon to Barcelona. Here we go. Wow. Signing another English player because it works so well with Rashford. Lovely. Lovely. Tottenham just signed Miles Robinson. I'm guessing Miles Robinson. Actually, third English team. I'm talking about Crystal Palace winning their first European trophy. But yes, if Crystal Palace were to win this, they'd be the third English team to win this trophy. Because it's so easy with this new format. It's so easy with this new format. So, there we go. Real Madrid Robinson. Who? There's a Robinson on Real Madrid? I don't know. In goal for Crystal Palace, Dean Henderson. The back three of J.D. Cano. We have Maxence Lacroix and Chatty Reed. Yeah, because Europa League and Conference Leagues are jokes. No teams drop down now. Man, Chelsea would have won a damn trophy. They could have made it to Europe with Xabi Alonso, but they couldn't do it because they suck. But hey, maybe we'll win the Premier League like we did with Conte because we have no Europe. I'm coping, very much so. Midfield 4, Daniel Munoz. Daniel Munoz. Adam Wharton. Daichi Kamada. And Tariq Mitchell. Midfield 2, attacking midfield 2, Yeremy Pino, Ismail Assar, and up top, John Fleet Mateta. Okay, that's better. That's better. Fun for Rayo Vallecano in goal. Augusto Batalla, the back four of Andre Ratiu, Florian Lejeune, Pate Cis, Pep Chavarria, midfield 2 of Unai Lopez and Oscar Valentin, the midfield 3 of Jorge de Frutos, Isi Palazon, Alvaro Garcia, and Alemão. And teams have walked out. We're ready to go. Palace wearing their red and blue kits. Vallecano wearing white and red. Mora's linked with Madrid right now. Well, good for him. Honestly, Roberto Mora under Jose Mourinho, I mean, that sounds fun. Oliver Glasner probably coaching his final game for Palace here. Well, it's not probably, it is. It's not probably, it is. Crystal Palace in goal, Dean Henderson. Canvote, Lacroix, Chadley, Riyadh, Mitchell, Kamada, Wharton, Munoz, Yeremy Pino, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Ismail Assar. Cardines and Chris Richards on the bench, and Strand Larson on the bench. But they need Strand Larson to do something. That's probably not a good thing. Do you think Crystal Palace is winning? Yeah. I think Rayo is a stronger opponent for Crystal Palace than Freiburg was for Villa, but in the end, I still think Palace wins. I think Vallecano is a better coach team. I think they're better tactically. They're still outgunned monetarily. Mariani from Italy is the center ref. They're playing at Red Bull Arena in Leipzig. No, they're not playing in New Jersey. Marco De Bello is the VAR referee. There are 2 Red Bull Arenas. Well, actually, no, not anymore, technically. But who calls it Sports Illustrated Stadium? Not me. The one in New Jersey, of course. Who calls it that? Not me. Rayo Vallecano, Batalla in goal. The back four, Chavarria, Cease, Lejeune, Andre, Unai Lopez, Oscar, Valentin, Alvaro Isipalazon, De Frutos, and Alemão. But Ilyas Ajamash is on the bench. Good for him. Nice. 2 guys I'd love to play in MLS are in this game. Yeremy Pino and Ilyas Ajamash. Or at least I thought would be good in MLS at some point. Which you know exactly what that means. A 28-year-old striker from Brazil. I can see why I didn't get called up. Either way, the second of 3 UEFA finals. England won with Aston Villa. And here we go. Looks like Palace is kicking off. There's way too much smoke. And here we go. Palace kicks off, and we're on our way. Our second of 3 UEFA men's finals this summer. Of course, last Saturday was the UEFA W Champions League final of their 4 finals, of course. Well, the Youth League also has a final, but when does that get played? Either way, Glasner made 6 changes from the team beaten 2-1 by Arsenal in the final Premier League game of the season. And that's out for a goal kick for Vallecano. For me, this game will be, I would think it might end up being a closer score than Villa versus Freiburg. Partly because Palace finished lower, but then again, it seems to be Palace's thing now. They'll finish like 12th, 13th, 14th, but win a trophy. I can't complain, really. I can't hate on it, to be real. Let's see. 15th, actually. Let me guess. Crystal Palace will chant. Finish 15th. Who gives a fuck? We won the Conference League if they win this final. Yeah, is that what they're going to do? Spurs finished 17th last year, won the Europa League. Well, it also helped them. They played another shit team in United, in Emirates United, who were just above them. And frankly, Spurs basically threw away the league because, I mean, the relegated teams were so bad. They threw away the league so they didn't get hurt during the league so they could win the cup. Now, this 17th for Spurs is worse because they were in the relegation battle for the bulk of the season. It was not far. It was close, I should say. Last year, it was so, like, they were never getting relegated that they could throw away the league and they were never in danger. And that injury crisis, about just as bad as this year's, playing forward, but the relegated, or the teams who end up getting relegated weren't, well, at least West Ham wasn't that bad. Burnley, Wolverhampton, at least they both cracked 20 points. I mean, the relegated teams are better this year than recent years. And Wolves have been in the Prem for a while. And West Ham's been in the Prem for a long time before the relegations. Only one promoted team got relegated of last year's promoted teams. Of course, Sunderland stayed up, and Leeds stayed up, yeah. Didn't Burnley win the league, though? Either way. So, I think that's a different situation. I have no idea. It didn't make sense to me. They built the squad. Like, he was a big part of the squad. He was a big part of the squad during the Gold Cup and games around. Oh, Leeds did win the championship last year when they got promoted. Okay. My bad. They did. I guess that's either means how close it was or either way. Free kick for Palace. 0-0. Settle. 5 minutes in. Free kick taken. Chipped over the top. That was what was he trying to do there? That wasn't the best. Ball crossed in. Header. Not so bad, but okay. But I still feel like he should have. I'm shocked, frankly. When it was leaked he didn't make it, and then it was confirmed when they confirmed the squad. I was shocked. Like, I thought Diego Luna's a good player. And I thought he was so entrenched in the squad under Pochettino. He got the third most minutes under him that he'd surely be at the World Cup. That was one of the biggest shocks to me. I don't know why people are so shocked Tanner Tessman didn't make it. It's not like Diego Luna. People are trying to be like, oh, but we're also shocked that Tanner Tessman didn't make it. He's not a bad player, don't get me wrong. But that isn't such a what the hell moment, you know? Diego Luna's like, really? What the hell? Like Zendejas, I'm glad he made it. I think Zendejas is a good player, and I think he should be on the squad. Now, over Diego Luna, especially, I mean, yes, Zendejas has been the best player on a shit America team who's been falling off a cliff. And he has, 0.9 goals, a goal actions per game, whether it's goals and assists together or goals part of per game, something like that, with goals and assists. Points per game. Let's just put it like hockey. Points per game. Goals and assists is a point. Points per game. I mean, yeah, that's a good player. Better than Diego Luna. Or we could have both. I mean, we could have replaced somebody else for Diego Luna, but either one. Frank Lampard won the EFL championship with Coventry. Oh, I know Lampard won it this year. Oh, I know that. I was talking about last year. Like when Leeds got promoted, who won it? Leeds did. Which I forgot. I'm forgetting a lot. My mind is slipping on a lot of shit now. I'm worried, man. This shouldn't be happening. Lane forward. I don't know, man. Saved. 6:30 p.m. on September 5th for Mississippi State. September 12th on CBS. 2:30 against Minnesota. 3:15 on September 19th against South Carolina. Okay, we'll keep an eye on those. 7:39. I know that. I guess John Harris was right to go back to Brazil. I mean, I don't think. Blocked away by Rayo Vallecano. Ain't playing too badly, but I kind of expected this so far. What's going on so far? I kind of expected this. I agree. But I'm talking about the fact he played the third most minutes under Pochettino. Wazzy. Like, that's got to be one of the most... I mean, there's a lot of things they got wrong from this call-up list in general. No Diego Luna, emailing the players where they made it or not telling them to their face that they missed or made the roster. Just like, oh, here's an email. It getting leaked, who's gone and not going, the full roster, 2 days before they have a freaking show on Fox to tell you who's going. Not that many people who watched that show probably saw the leaked roster because, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people, that show's for a lot of casuals, not people like me. So do I think it's as much of a problem as like Football America's made it sound like? No, because that show was probably for casuals, not people like me and you, who would have figured out the roster. That show was for casuals who just watched the World Cup. Is Rory sad they fired Neville? No, I mean, he thought it was about time. No, he's just shit. No, he's just a shit player. Can you really be cursed if you're a shit player? No. Or who could tell the difference? Portugal as a team? No. Cristiano himself? I mean, he got benched last time, but that was 4 years ago. So, possible. As long as he scores a goal, though, you know. Do I think he cares at this point if he wins the World Cup, even if he's not the main guy? No. I think he just wants to win the World Cup, and he'll freaking gaslight everybody and say he was the main guy. Then again, the Euro that he won, he was injured and didn't even have to do much to win that Euro, so he's used to it. Winning a trophy where it's not really he's the reason, so. And he already gaslighted about it, so what's the difference? Yeah, I remember. How we doing, cellar door? No. That Germany team was falling off a cliff anyway. And Sané wasn't at his peak yet. I'd say, what, 20... I don't think 2018 Sané was his peak anyway. I don't think he would have changed much. Either way. Because he's a shit player. Well, he just ended up losing 3 in a row. He's not cursed. He lost, well, hold on. Like 3 finals of the 3 finals he's been in. I mean, losing his Pumas. Frankly, they were parking the bus and they got what they deserved. But he is a shit player and he got a red card by being a shit player. because he's a shit player. That one's on him. Yeah, that one's on him because he's a shit player. He's a tronco. That one's on him. Tigres, he was playing Toluca. What'd you think was going to happen? And Cruz Azul, I think, Tigres made a final? I can't even remember the other one with Tigres, frankly. That one reminds me of the 2014 World Cup. I mean, Savarese is somebody I would trust if they didn't call the Pirates, so I guess I'm okay with it, yeah. It's not exactly my preferred answer, but it's something I would be able to live with. He's somebody I trust that I would endorse. That he's somebody I would endorse if it wasn't to be, how do I put this? If the Pirate wasn't the nominee, and Savarese is somebody I would endorse, put in political terms. Also, Bobby Smirniotis. Other than that, is it the perfect answer? No, but I'd let him have a shot. I'd let him have a shot, and I would believe in him. I wouldn't be very. I would give him a lot better of a. He would have a lot more rope than some other people, so to speak. Is he my answer? No, but Pacharo. Crystal Palace. I'm rooting for Crystal Palace, I guess. I don't know. I predicted them to win and corner for Crystal Palace. And frankly, I don't even. Excuse me. Who wants Rayo Vallecano to win besides Vallecano fans? Setting up the corner. Do you think Timber should have gave Neville more time? No, it was time for him to go. Will all English teams win the finals? I think we'll be on 2-0 after today. I think Arsenal has a better chance against PSG than most people think. Cross in. Header. Wide now. I think it's still 50-50. It's not like they're absolutely favorites. But September 16th is the semifinal of the Open Cup, St. Louis, Colorado. Okay. I remember when all the Italian teams lost their finals. Oh, that year sucked. That was painful. Is that 2023? Yeah. That was a painful May. Wearing an Italy jersey. Well, actually, no. No, wait. Was that the year that... No. Or was Leverkusen 24? Wait. Oh, no. Leverkusen was... Wait. No, Leverkusen was 2024 because that was Klopp's last year. And they were in the Europa League that year, and it was in Dublin. Yeah, okay, that was 2024. So, yeah. all the Italian teams. Italian teams made 3 finals and they lost it. Yeah, Sevilla beat Roma in 23. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then Fiorentina lost to Olympiacos, and then Inter lost to Man City. Yeah. I got the Atalanta one confused with Roma. Because Roma won in 22. Wait, no. Oh, wait, no. No, West Ham won in 23. See, that's why I got confused. Fiorentina bottled it both years. West Ham won in 23. Olympiacos won in 24. Yeah. Both to Fiorentina. My bad. See, that's why I got confused. I wanted Inter to beat Man City, but I knew they wouldn't because I'm not stupid. I'm surprised the game was 1-0. At least Inter didn't get freaking absolutely destroyed against Man City, but they did against PSG. I didn't like either final. I mean, I wanted Inter to win both finals against both old clubs, and they lost either one. And they lost both of them, I should say. At least they didn't get murdered against Man City. PSG, on the other hand, that was ugly. Playing forward. Over the top. Yeah, because Lukaku played center back on his own goal. Or, well, on Man City's, whatever. Well, Philadelphia Union has a new sporting director. And I think I know why Bradley Carnell got fired. They haven't fired Fraser yet. I don't know what. Playing forward. Oh, yeah, Philly will fire Bradley Carnell. Goes down. Is that a dog? So, yellow card and a free kick. Valentin gets a yellow card. Or is it Pate Cease? Pate Cease gets the yellow card. They don't call it a complete dog so. Which, okay. I mean, he was the last man back. He got the ball and then tripped a guy. If he didn't trip him, that would have been a goal-scoring opportunity. And that's only a yellow card. Yeah, sure. But they do have VAR, so. They might have gotten away with that one. They've been garbage. Okamoto Placata 2-1 Blue Jays. Let's go. I agree. Cease gets a yellow card, free kick for Palace, and it's a deep one. Blue Jays lead 2-1. Good. And they play it short. Okay. Playing forward. Header. Out for a... Nope, not out for a corner. Bottom 6, 1 out, by the way, in the Jays game. Damn. When the hell did they start? Bottom 6, like what, 12 o'clock? 1 Eastern? Oh yeah, it's probably the Marlins getaway day. Is school out yet up there? Jesus Lord. Playing forward. Got by the goalie. 1:07 p.m. Eastern, 12:07 Central. Okay. Casemiro will join Inter Miami. I mean, it's a good rumor. It's a big rumor. Probably. The Cardinals have a no-hitter going in Milwaukee through 7. I see it happening. 0-0. Settle. Oh, Lord. The Blue Jays play away to Baltimore. Miami still loses Champions Cup. So the Blue Jays are going to Baltimore, so it's their getaway day, plus Miami goes to New York, but they don't start their series till Friday. Okay. So both are going away. Ball crossed in. That should have been obvious. Yellow card for Rayo, and they're starting to hack. Rayo Vallecano has 64% possession, but no shots. 2 shots for Palace, 36% possession. I think we all are. Easy Palazon yellow card. I think we all are. Of course, I'm rooting for Canada above all of them, but I want all the CONCACAF teams to go as far as they can. Of course, I'm also rooting for Japan, as it is, and Italy didn't make it, and Ireland didn't make it either, so that doesn't matter. Morocco, maybe. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm still rooting for Morocco to do well, even though the AFCON controversy. But mostly CONCACAF as it is. It's a big rumor when it comes to Casemiro to Miami. Rayo should be down to 10 men. I agree. I can't believe that dog so was a yellow card. Maybe because the ball was played and then he tripped the guy instead of the ball being on his feet and then tripping the guy. Shot wide. Alemão puts it wide. I don't think we're going to see the Union. I don't even know. Probably. There's been 13 games in the season. I'm sure they played each other. I didn't watch that match. I've been watching Toronto's matches. I'm sure they played each other at least once. There's been at least, I think every team's at least had one team where they've played them twice pretty quickly. I don't think Red Bulls Philly was that series. Toronto had Cincy very early. They ended their series with Cincy pretty early. I think Red Bulls in Montreal Red Bulls was Red Bulls in Montreal. They played their 2 games pretty quickly. But I'm sure we've seen it. I see Haiti performing well. I don't know about that. I wish them the best, though. I think, Panama's squad came out. Yeah. What do you say by well? Not embarrassing? I don't think Haiti's going to be as embarrassing as most people would think. Sure. Playing forward. Rayo has controlled the ball. They should be down a man. But you can still see Palace's quality comparatively. Header. I thought, and that's a free kick the other way for Rayo. I think part of the reason why this game is tied is Rayo's controlling the ball well. Panama being based in a small Ontario town for the World Cup. Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's awesome. So don't tell me. AKA, don't tell me that an MLS team couldn't have a preseason in Starkville, Mississippi. Wink. Or at least a winter warm-up camp. Because I guarantee you, now that they're flipping the schedule, they probably wouldn't be able to have a preseason in Starkville. Now a winter warm-up camp after the winter break, now yes, that can happen. Nope, I checked. Okay. Ron, Haiti's in a group of Morocco and Brazil. Get real. Well, I'm surprised they haven't played each other. If they haven't played, Union are at home against Red Bulls on July 22nd, 2026. Okay. Maybe there's a team that every team in the conference, or I should say, maybe every team in each conference has a team that haven't played yet at all. And Philly's just Red Bulls is. I don't know. Just like there was a team they played quickly. They finished the series with quickly, maybe. I can't think of the team Toronto hasn't played, though. Wait. Oh, shit, they haven't played Montreal. Well, there you go. I guess every team per conference is a team they played early. They finished their season series with early in their own conference, and a team they haven't even played. And Toronto's would be. Well, also, I don't think they have played Orlando yet either. Huh. What do you know? They played Cincy twice. That I know. They played Cincy twice. They haven't played Montreal. They played Columbus once. Have they played NYCFC? Okay, we played less teams than I thought. Cincinnati once, Red Bulls once, Columbus once, Colorado, doesn't matter. Cincinnati twice, Austin, Philly once, Atlanta once, San Jose, Miami once, Charlotte once, Chicago once. So that is 1, 2. They haven't played Revs at all. 1, 3, 4, 5. They haven't played NYCFC, DC, 6. Haven't played. So they've played 8 teams in their conference out of 14 other teams. And they could have played a 9th, but they played Cincinnati. Okay, I don't understand how the schedule's built. So I guess there's 6 teams that each Eastern team hasn't played yet. I guess same for the West. Nil, settle. Rayo's trying to keep the ball away from Crystal Palace as long as they can. Respect. Wait. What do you mean? Why are you saying PSG? Whatever English teams play in Europe, I want them to win. So come on, Villa. You've already done it for us. Come on, Palace and PSG. You do realize PSG is French. Or are you just an Arsenal hater? I didn't want PSG to beat Inter. That they did, but I didn't want them to. I was rooting for Milan, Inter Milan, and I'm rooting for Arsenal, even as a Chelsea fan. I did love the Club World Cup final, though. That was awesome. PSG got bodied by Chelsea, and it all went downhill from there. But I want Arsenal. I have no hatred for Arsenal. Hell, I got a Temu Arsenal kit that I'll be wearing on Saturday for that game, and then I'll put on the suit for the Champs Cup home. A fake Walmart kit that says London that looks suspiciously like an Arsenal kit, aka a Temu Arsenal kit. Philly looked like shit this year. Why would you look forward to it? Red Bulls have been absolutely bipolar, and the Union have looked like shit this year. Why do you think Bradley Cardinal got fired? What was there to look forward to? Nothing. The Red Bulls would look amazing again before they got bodied by somebody else the next week. As is what they've been doing. But yeah, $70 million, 70 million euro, $81 million fee for Anthony Gordon to Barcelona. One, I didn't know Barcelona had that much money. Second of all, Anthony Gordon's worth $81 million. Bullshit. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but $81 million. Bullshit. Are you happy Chelsea has Sarr back? No, he's garbage. 33rd minute. Did you not watch the game against PSG? He's garbage. 7th inning stretch. Jays have 2-1. Hoffman finished the 7th. Okay, Blue Jays. Jamaica beating India 1-0. Playing forward. Palace. Well, at least Hoffman got out of the 7th. Once. Arsenal signing Morgan Rogers from Villa. That's actually a good move. I think that's actually a good move. He's better than Gabriel Jesus. I'm glad Arsenal is trying to, well, at least for their sake. Well, Rashford, wait, is he staying or not? I don't know. He's better than Martinelli, too. Yep, you're right about that. That's true, yeah. Well, Martinelli, I still believe in Martinelli, for better or for worse. I can't let go. I remember when Martinelli looked like the next best player in the world. Okay, maybe not that good. But I remember when Martinelli looked like a budding superstar. The ref has lost it. Yep. This ref sucks. I get it's a final, but this referee is not doing a damn thing. Like, yeah, Rayo should be down a man. Definitely at least one. Stoppage time on the watch. How, like, seriously, though, I gotta say it. How are the professional referees the shit ones? PGMOL. Professional. Shit. Pro. Professional. Shit. Italy referees. Professional. Shit. Mexico, I don't know if they're professional or not, but at least they're useful. Spain doesn't have bad refs. How's it the professional ones that are shit? I don't get it. Okay, the Shield don't matter unless you win the MLS Cup. I've said this for years. The only people who care about the Shield, if you don't win the MLS Cup, is the fan base who won the Shield. That is not, and that's probably an American viewpoint, because the Shield is like winning the league. Like Arsenal won the Shield of the English Premier League. Except that's the way you win the league. It's not a playoff. Referee checking VAR. But in America, there's a playoff. In Canada, there's a playoff. In Mexico, there's a playoff. So, and besides, you know what the difference is between the European leagues and MLS? You play an even schedule. You play everybody twice, home and away. In the MLS, you play everybody in your conference home and away, and then 6 people in the opposite conference. 3 home, 3 away. You don't play everybody. So it doesn't have the same meaning. See, the thing about the Prem or La Liga or anything in Europe is you play everybody twice, one home, one away. You play everybody twice, one home, one away, 18 home games, 18 away games. Whoever wins the league truly wins the league. In the MLS, you might have an easier conference because your conference might be shit, like, are you consistent? Sure, but that's all the Shield tells me is you are a consistent team. But it's like that. But here's the problem with the playoffs. It's like the NHL. There's only a small amount of teams who've won the Supporter Shield and won the MLS Cup the same year. Toronto FC being one of those in 2017. Due to a medical emergency, the match has been suspended. I guess it was 38th minute. Throw in, Mitchell with a throw in. I guess the suspension is over. I guess a fan, was it a player or a fan collapsing in the stands? I need more information. Either way, the MLS, the Shield means nothing besides to the fan base of the team who wins it unless they win the cup, because of the fact they don't play everybody. And it depends on which conference is the shittier conference. That does make things easier. Normally the East, but then it also depends on who you draw in the West. And then who do you draw at home and who you draw away. That also depends. Either way, yeah, you're the most consistent team, but if you don't win the cup, why does it matter? And they didn't win the cup either year, so why does it matter? Okay, to the prelim round. Okay. Yeah, because it would be unfair if they didn't go to the Champions Cup from it. But when you have multiple other tickets to get there, I'm going to plan on getting the tickets that are easier to get. If we're good enough to win the Shield, so be it. But I care more about winning MLS Cup. I care more about winning the Canadian Championship. And yeah, we won't be in the Champions Cup as long as we keep Fraser, because we're not going to make the playoffs. And we're not going to be good enough to be top 4 in the table. And we're not in Leagues Cup. Because we're shit. Now, if they call the Pirate, we will win MLS Cup. We'll be in Champions Cup. No need to worry. And then we'll win the damn thing. But that's if we do the right thing, which I don't know if we will. Probably not, but, whatever. Corner. Ball crossed in. Header for Palace. It goes down. Cleared away. Out for a goal kick. 40th minute. So, either way, yeah, I guess it matters for the fact they go to the Champions Cup, but does anybody ever they won the Shield, yay! Nobody even thinks about that when it happens until the draw happens. They're like, oh yeah, that's why we're there. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it gets you to the Champions Cup. But you can't tell me somebody in April is going to be like, oh, we're leading the Shield. We'll be in Champions Cup if we can hold on for another 7 months. Come on now. Oh, and yeah, Miami made the Club World Cup once by winning the Shield. Yeah. Okay. They did. That's because they were Miami. So let's not use that either. Do you think that group is cursed? Maybe. Second. Free kick for Rayo. I ain't really seen it. No. I think they're good. besides. Huh. Playing forward, Palace. Ball crossed in, off the hand of the Palace player. Stoppage of play, and that'll be a free kick the other way. Handball on Palace. I mean, do you? I don't like beer anyway. I don't think. I can't judge because I wouldn't drink it anyway. I don't like any types of beer, so I can't judge. Do you? Do you? Do you? Well, I mean, as I said, yeah, we're not going to get any other tickets besides maybe possibly MLS Cup because making the playoffs is enough of a salvage job. As I said, yeah, you're right. And most likelihoods, we're not going to get any of those other tickets because they will not call the Pirate. But if they do, we will at least win MLS Cup. We will do the salvage job. We will make the playoffs. We're not that far out comparatively to last year. It's not an absolute unlikelihood. Still got to have better results than we've had. Either way, we're on the road for half more of our games at the end of the year than not. Thanks, FIFA, you fuckers. But other than that, but if they don't, yeah, we're not. And yeah, our only hope's winning MLS Cup. That's our only hope. Even if they didn't, yeah, that's our only hope. But would our only hope be what we get if they called the Pirate? Yes. Yes, it would be. But even without that, MLS Cup is our only hope. I know that because we didn't make Leagues Cup, and there's not enough of a salvage job we could do to finish top 4 or 5 in the whole Supporter Shield table. 4 minutes of stoppage time. We can make a salvage job to the point of making the playoffs in the top 4 in the East. But the East is the weaker conference anyway. Top 4 in the whole league? Yeah, no. I don't care if we win out. That's not happening. Cross in. And also, you got to depend on how many Leagues Cup spots go to MLS teams. And Can Champ spots. Especially if Vancouver finishes high enough as well. Wait. Oh, that would go to a CPL team anyway. Or somebody who made. Oh, if they made it through MLS, yeah, that spot would go. Either way, okay, so that would matter anyway. Precedent, that wouldn't matter anyway. Either way, yeah, basically our only chance to make CONCACAF Champions Cup anyway is winning MLS Cup. Header wide by Palace. 3 minutes to go. Mitchell put it wide. Well, that's what happens when you throw a center back up. Well, it wasn't a bad header. Listen to my words. Right now, they have a 0% chance. With Fraser, they have a 0% chance. They call the Pirate, it's going to happen. But the chances of them calling the Pirate, well, I don't know how high those are. But as of now, yeah, it's 0%. As of now, it is 0%, yes. They make the right call and send Fraser off the plank. and raise the pirate flag, they are going to win the MLS Cup. But right now it is 0%. Yes, I agree. Right now it is a 0% chance. I will agree with that. For now, it is a 0% chance. Mitchell, you got to score that. India scored on Jamaica goal, got ruled out. All right. Well, I mean, if Fraser's still there, yeah, it would still be a 0% chance. All right. I wish we could test that theory. Bet. Well, I'm not betting about. If Fraser's still there, yeah, it's still a 0% chance for both times of the year. But and the finals in December, by the way. 256 header. But I like to test that theory. I like to test that theory. Besides, isn't MLS known for teams who make a second half season run and then win the MLS Cup? Okay. For 10 seconds to go. Same difference. Well, then again, they're playing Mariah Carey in both months, so fair enough. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, good point. Halftime, 0-0. I mean, Rayo's keeping it close, as I would have expected. They're controlling the pace. They should be down a man, but 0-0, settle medio tiempo. What'd you expect? I mean, right now they're at a 0% chance. And if they keep Fraser, they will stay at a 0% chance. And if they fire Fraser just to hire another random coach that isn't the Pirate, yeah, they'll stay at a 0% chance. Even if it was Bobby Smyrniotis. Even if it was Bobby Smyrniotis or Giovanni Savarese, I still don't think we'd win the Cup. We'd be a lot closer, but we'd probably be in the playoffs. But, you know. Either way. Oh, Red Bull has a sailboat in the Sail GP as well. Of course they do. Damn Red Bull. Halftime. Hey, call your shot. Just know that if Robin Fraser is still the manager, that's the only reason you'll be right. If you call your shot, it doesn't matter. On December 5th, it doesn't matter. I agree with that. Call your shot. But if Robin Fraser is not the manager, and it's not Giovanni Savarese that replaces him, or Bobby Smyrniotis, or Terry Dunfield again, or if it is the Pirate, you're going to be dead wrong. But for now, yeah, you're safe because MLSE are a bunch of idiots. So they'll probably keep Robin Fraser anyway. So you're probably right. Don't worry. But I won't. But if a certain Pirate wins MLS, gets hired, and then wins Toronto the MLS Cup, I won't be mean about it. I'll be nice. Because, hell, even I'd be shocked. That Toronto actually did the right thing. Even I'd be shocked. I'd be happy, but I'd be shocked. and then won the cup because they did the right thing. I'd be shocked, but I'd be happy, very happy. I'd be over the moon. But right now, you're safe because MLSE would. It's very unlikely. One, they probably won't fire Fraser anyway, and even if they did, who's to say they do the obvious thing? There's only one person who has all the answers. Exactly. There's only one person who has all the answers. Who has the plan? Who's the man with a plan? No, not Brian Kendrick, damn it. That song is fire, though. I'm a man with a plan. Either way. With that being said, halftime, we'll take a short break. We'll be back 0-0. We'll talk about the stats. I'm glad MLS is on break. That means Toronto might make the right decision. But if you're going to do it now. Either way. Firing Fraser's only part of the right decision. Either way, by the way, we'll take a short break. 0-0. Settle, middle tiempo. 45 more minutes to go, maybe more. And I'll talk about what I want. Rayo Vallecano's playing Haram ball. What do you want me to do? Rayo Vallecano does not want, and I mean Crystal Palace. Well, Glasner does play attacking football. They should be down a minute. Rayo. Either way, yeah, they're playing Haram ball. What do you want me to talk about? There ain't much to say. Sit tight, be back. Short break. 0-0. And we're back for the stats at the half. Bring on the World Cup. Yeah, we still got the Champions League and Champions Cup final to deal with. And friendlies. But either way, stats at the half before we get going. $110 to the start of the second half. Here we go. First of all, let me... Oh, it is live. Okay, no worries. All right, stats are at the half. Here we go. 46% possession to 54% possession, 4 shots to 2, 0 shots on goal to 0, 130 accurate pass to 160, 77% pass accuracy to 81, 1 yellow card to 2, 0 or 2 quarters to 1, 4 shots to 2, 0 shots on goal to 2, 0 shots on goal to 0. It is 169 pass to 198, 77% pass accuracy to 81. We got 9 throws to 8, 0 offside to 1, 8 tackles to 4, 1 yellow card to 2, 0 red card to 0, 6 fouls to 5, 0-0 at the half. 0-0 medio tiempo. Frankly, Rayo Vallecano should be down a man. I'm looking forward to the World Cup too. And those streams to do well. Either way, we've still got a little bit to deal with. Club football-wise and friendly-wise before we actually get to the World Cup. Either way, teams are walking out for the second half. I think Rayo should be down a man, but really, Rayo's playing a lot of haram ball. And the Blue Jays have won. 2-1 Blue Jays. Blue Jays beat the Marlins, and they went Tyler Rogers. They had a good inning. Wow. Blue Jays won. Let's go. Maybe. We'll see what happens. We'll see what ends up being played on that Wednesday. I would love to be live for that game. We'll see what happens. The Blue Jays can reach 500 this weekend. Teams are walking out for the second half. We're ready to go. With that being said, yeah, I think Rayo have played a lot of haram ball, and I think they're trying to just keep this game close. They don't want to get embarrassed like Freiburg. Rayo, are, as I said, they're tactically good, though. They should be down a man with that dog, so this referee is a complete idiot. And Palace aren't playing badly. They look like the more quality team, but they ain't had many chances to look quality because Rayo's playing haram ball. Live for the NBA Finals? No. If I do a finals series this June, if I go live for one of those, it's going to be the Stanley Cup. This stadium's beautiful. I agree. Red Bull Arena in Leipzig is beautiful. How we doing, David? How we doing? I agree. It is a beautiful stadium. It's just New York in the final. I never thought I would see today. Well, I mean, they were in the final in 1994, but you weren't alive back then, and I wasn't either. Even though I like to act like I wasn't. Playing forward. Here comes Palace. Ball crossed in. Mateta does not get there. What do you mean by that? I'd love to go watch you NHL final stream. I didn't say I was going to do it, but if there is a final series, I do. The NHL is way more possible than the NBA. I do not give a shit about OKC/San Antonio versus New York. I do not care. At least when it comes to the Stanley Cup, I want whoever who wins the East to beat Vegas because I do not need... Yeah, I was born in 2000 as well. But I was born in the point of 2000 where I could grow up like a 90s kid and nobody would complain about it. Which I did. I feel like even though I was born in 2000, I grew up more like a 90s kid. Thankfully, because I was around when they had simulcasted game shows of Guts, Legends of the Hidden Temple, Figure It Out, which were all made in the 90s. They also simulcasted All That. Taina. Still show Clarissa Explains It All. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Of course, I had Drake and Josh and Amanda show. They still show Keenan and Kel. Ed and Eddie was still around at the time. Like, I was born at the time where I could say, yeah, I was born too late, but I could still enjoy what I would have missed had I not. I don't know what I'm. Either way, like, I could still enjoy the best of the 90s while I was growing up, while still being a 2000s baby. Or a 2000 baby. So, I've always felt like I was more mature for my age, comparatively. Like, I have a higher mental age. As well as the fact I feel more like a 90s kid, even though I was born in 2000. You know, I mean. So maybe that's why I feel so much like an unk. Because I feel older than I really am. I don't know. Either way, 0-0. Blue Jays win. I was born in 2000. I feel old. So, I feel like an unk. So, hey, you don't have to worry about that. 49th minute. What makes me feel older is that the next time, of course, this World Cup, I'm 26. But in the next World Cup after this one, when they kick a ball in Argentina in the 2030 World Cup, I will be 30 years old. The next men's World Cup after this, I will be 30 years old. Yeah, no. That's just crazy, man. Now, of course, you could be like, well, technically you have a Women's World Cup next year and a Club World Cup in 2029. So technically there's still 2 Showpiece World Cups in your 20s. Technically, yes. And I like the Women's World Cup. I like the Club World Cup. So I'm not disagreeing. But when it comes to Men's World Cups, after this one, I'm going to be 30. This is the last Men's World Cup in my 20s, which there was only 2, but, you know, there'll be 3 in my 30s. 50th minute. Shot, save, rebound, goal, goal, goal! Jean-Philippe Mateta puts in the rebound. You just knew it had to happen. You just knew it had to be him. Jean-Philippe Mateta for Crystal Palace. Well, it doesn't matter now. They're down 1-0. Jean-Philippe Mateta with a rebound. 1-0. They finally score, Crystal Palace. 1-0. 1-0 esta noche. Well, it is the nighttime in Europe, so it counts. What a shot. Just put it past the defender. He was onside. Shut up. Nice. Nice. You can't let him have a positioning like that. He's going to score. And he does. Side foot into the net. Easy as you like. He's had a really good season, though. How'd Adam Morton get called up? He's actually had a really good season. That's how. And it does count. 1-0 Palace. 51st minute. I just don't want this to go to extra time. Well, I'd rather get Hendo called up than Palmer. didn't he have a pretty good season as well? I mean, if you're good enough, you can get called up. And besides, what I think Thomas Tuchel was doing was calling up a squad that actually works together well and isn't just the biggest English names. Because if he was calling up the biggest English names, guess what? He would have called up Cole Palmer and they would have sucked. He would have called up Phil Foden and they would have sucked. Because let me tell you something, and I can certainly tell you this about Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer was crap this year. Cole Palmer was garbage. I'm not even mad he didn't get called up. The one I'm mad about from Chelsea who didn't get called up is João Pedro. That's the one I'm mad about. João Pedro was our best player. João Pedro not getting called up for Brazil, I'm pissed off about that. I still am. Palmer didn't deserve shit. Now, I'm very happy for Jarell Hato getting called up by the Netherlands. I'm very happy for him. He's been solid. He deserves it. I'm glad he got that. Cucurella, of course, he was always getting called up. Fernandez, he was always getting called up, but they deserve it. Caicedo. Either way. Even Gibbs wide over Hendo. I mean, they're the favorite for sure. I think Arsenal has a better chance than most people would think. I think it's a lot of people are acting like it's 80-20 PSG. I think it's more 50-50. Arsenal is the best defensive team in the Champions League, and I do believe, especially if Hakimi's not fit, which we don't know yet. I don't know if they're playing around with his status to make Arsenal feel more comfortable or not, but especially if Hakimi's not fit, I think Arsenal can, and even if he is, I think Arsenal, it's hard to score on him. Even if you're PSG, it's hard to score on Arsenal. They're very well drilled defensively. The question is, can they scam a couple of chances and put them away? I think the big difference, I think what we're forgetting is, yes, this is a similar PSG squad to last year's semifinal, but Arsenal's squad is better this year. One. Second of all, a lot of the reason why Arsenal lost that tie was because Donnarumma was playing in over his head, which he always does in big games. This year it's Safanov, and frankly, he hasn't been too special. I'm not saying he's bad, but he ain't no Donnarumma, especially in big games. Free kick for Crystal Palace. Shot. Goal! Oh, no, it went off the post. Rebound. Is it in? Did it go in? It's a goal! It's a goal! Wait, no. Or is it not? Or was that a foul? It was a foul, okay. He was pointing for a foul. My bad. Pointing for a foul. Let's see here. But did it cross? Did it cross the line, though, before that foul? I need to see. Did it cross the line? It did not. It went double post. It was a double post. Nope. I don't think it did, actually. It went off one post and off. Oh, Portland Timbers fans or SKC fans got PTSD. Portland fans just loved hearing that. No, it was a double post. 1-0. Still a Crystal Palace 1-0. But I think Arsenal has a way better chance than you would think. Here comes Palace again. Here's another shot. Cross in, Mateta! Wide! Oh, my. Palace has opened the floodgates. Double post. Because it's the same reason people think Jose Mourinho parks the bus. And he's not that. But Arsenal, yes, they're very good defensively. Yes, they're very good at shutting teams out. Yes, they're very good at set pieces, but they have quality. And yes, Saka hasn't been completely good this season compared to others. Ball crossed in. But Victor Gyökeres, arguably to me, is one of the best strikers in the Prem. If not, I mean, Erling Haaland is still number one. Even if I don't think him footballing wise is great, he still scores bags of goals. Erling Haaland is still the best striker in the Prem, at least for the fact he scores goals. Do I think he's tactically good? No. I think he's a League 2 level footballer. I agree with Roy Keane that Erling Haaland is a League 2 level footballer. If he couldn't score, if he wasn't a robot that knew how to score goals, he'd be a shitty footballer. But he puts balls into the back of the net at a high clip. So, he's... Which, when it comes to strikers, would I rather have an Erling Haaland over a Josh Sargent? Honestly, yes. Josh Sargent draws in defenders and gives more open space to his other forwards to have chances to score. But does he score many goals? So far, no. Erling Haaland can't play a game of football, but he knows how to put the ball into the back of the net. Tactically, he's shit, but he can put the ball in the back of the net. Frankly, as long as he can press, I'd rather have an Erling Haaland than Josh Sargent. Just press. Just do enough pressing to freaking... If you can run your ass off and press hard and then put the ball in the back of the net, that's all I need. Or at least do enough pressing so your forwards can join you, sure. But either way, I think Arsenal, they want to shut teams out and then score goals when they need to. I mean, they do live up to 1-0 to the Arsenal, but I don't think they're a bad team. If they were a bad team, they wouldn't have won the Prem. Are they... I wouldn't even say they play haram ball. I think they're very defensively sound. They take their chances when they can get them, and sometimes those are set pieces. But I respect it because, frankly, I hate when people just waste corner kicks. And Arsenal, especially from corner kicks, are very good at scoring goals at a higher clip. I love it. I love what they're doing. Because, to me, I don't understand why we throw away corner kicks like they aren't a useful way to score or a useful chance to score. I love what Arsenal's doing in that way. I mean, free kicks, people are like, yeah, we'll go straight to the net if we're in the right place. Header. Penalties, of course, penalties are penalties. But, corners, I love what Arsenal's doing. Actually make people realize you can score off corners and actually try to score off a corner. Even if they don't, they try. And that's what I love. That's why I love. Because if my team gets a sniff of the net, they're going to try to put it in the back of the net. Our set piece, if I was managing a team, we're going to have set piece routines where our corners are going to at least... We're going to put in a lethal ball. If it doesn't go in, so be it. But we're going to put in a ball that if things go right, it's going to be a goal. We're going to make sure our corners aren't wasteful, which I think a lot of teams do waste their corners. Arsenal doesn't. And that's the thing. I think they're very clinical, but they're also very defensively sound. But they're also no nonsense. And I think Man City, I think overall, Arsenal is not Liverpool. Arsenal is not Man City. Arsenal is not what Chelsea were at their best under Bluco or even Thomas Tuchel Chelsea. I think people think there's only one way to win the Premier League or any European league. They're not a PSG. I think people at this point think there's only one way to win a league. And that's attacking football, high flying, high quality, score goals, and excite people. No, sometimes you got to do it yeoman's work. Sometimes you got to get your hands dirty. And Arsenal chose to get their hands dirty. Yes, they could still wow people. Yes, they still have good scoring. Yes, they still have their electric moments. But they're a team who gets their hands dirty. And look at Liverpool, for example. Liverpool only won their leagues when City was down. The one Klopp league and the Slot league. They won because City was down. When City's at their best, you cannot beat them by playing the same game. You have to do it differently. Liverpool, like, I love Jurgen Klopp. Don't get me wrong. I love what he does. I love his heavy metal football. But you cannot do it the same way as City unless they're down. They were injured to hell and back the COVID year when Liverpool won the title. They were injured to hell and back, and Arsenal were second place last year under Slot. But that was still more Klopp's team. But City was down. Arsenal actually won this league because they did it differently. They got their hands dirty instead of being an absolute wow of a side. Very often. I don't know about every game, but as many as I can. Great save. Defense wins championships. I would agree. Yeah, I mean, look at Arsenal. I would agree. Jamaica B team 2-0 India. Jamaica is making a deep run at the World Cup. Kamada is top. Kamada is awesome, man. I would love to see Jamaica make the semifinals or final, for that matter. Gambare Samurai Japan. Gambare kudasai. Playing for it. So, I mean, it's sort of ball crossed in. Shot! Side netting. Crystal Palace is about to score. Kamada. Set piece magic is essential. I agree. They're so important and useful. They ain't done shit. You're right. Curacao shouldn't be at this World Cup, but I guess it's meant to be. Hey, let them have their fun. My Arsenal now are Atletico Madrid under Prime Simeone, but they actually won the league. I mean, yeah. Except I have more fun watching Arsenal than Prime Atletico. I think there's more to Arsenal than Prime Atletico. I think, yeah, sort of, but no. I've had fun watching Arsenal this year. I don't see it, but maybe I like going deep in the tactics. Maybe that's why I don't understand it. Of like why people are so negative towards Arsenal. I like going deep into the tactics. I love heavy metal football. I don't think I'd be as defensive as Arsenal, but I know defense matters. I know set pieces matter. I want my team to be absolute dogs defensively, but also make the offense look absolutely red hot from that defense, like connect it much better. Set pieces matter, right? But like I would want my team to look like they play heavy metal football, but also have the best defense in the world. You know? That's what I would want. Like, you can't call us haram ball, but are we really playing haram ball when we're playing defense? Probably, but 2 seconds later, we're down the other way and we're about to score a goal. So you can't call us haram ball. But really, though, you know, like, I want my teams, if I was coaching, to be a stronger, more offensive version of Morocco in 2022 with a lot of Liverpool DNA. You know, something like that. It's definitely cutting edge, I would say. Or basically a way more attacking Jose Mourinho Real Madrid, pretty much. But either way. Very well said. Group of Germany, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, I don't like their chances. Newcastle sure sucked. I don't know. Probably the next time the USA hosts, so 2038, because of hosting rules, I would think. UEFA and CONMEBOL are out for 2 cycles after 2030, so they're still out for the 2038 cycle. Asia's out. OFC is not going to get it themselves. There's no way. CONMEBOL's out, so CONCACAF would have to host it in 2038. If they follow their rules, of course. So 2038, maybe. It's their best chance. Yeah. It's out for a goal kick. Yeah. I mean, I think everybody, if you really love football, I think you really should. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's why I said if. I mean, I think if you really love football, I think you should enjoy teams who get their hands dirty. Now, I'm not saying you should enjoy Getafe. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. But Atletico, especially this year, I do think they sort of tried to be Arsenal. Like, I don't think they were completely haram ball. I think they were better going forward than people give them credit for. Now, I'm not saying enjoy Getafe. Getafe, no. I love hands dirty football. Getafe is just murder ball. There's a difference. Getafe is murder ball. There's a difference. Nobody enjoys that. Nobody enjoys Getafe. Nobody. But let's stop acting like Arsenal and Atletico or Getafe. Let's stop doing that. 70th minute. Let's stop doing that because the Frutos is off for Garcia because they're not. Hell, they're not even Burnley. Nobody enjoyed Burnley under Sean Dyche. Nobody did. Nobody enjoys Getafe. That's different. Getting your hands dirty is not haram ball / anti-football. There are 2 different things. Those are 2 different things completely. If I needed to cure insomnia, I just like staying up. But if I needed to cure insomnia, I'd watch a Getafe game or a Burnley game under Sean Dyche. Honestly, even now, Burnley, but especially Sean Dyche Burnley. They'll probably win the damn thing. They'll probably come back. I will say they're probably coming back up. I don't see Wolves winning the championship. West Ham. I think Wolves, if there's any team who has a likelihood of going full Luton Town or full Leicester, it would be Wolves. I think Wolves is the team who's most in trouble of being Luton or Leicester. Burnley, not so. West Ham, I think they're coming back up. I think Burnley and West Ham are going to be top 2 next year. Wolves, I don't know how high they'll finish. They could be in the playoffs. I don't know if they'll get relegated, but they might be a lot lower than you'd expect. Wrexham, I think Wrexham's going to make the playoffs next year. And frankly, I think Wrexham can win the playoffs. And I want them to, frankly. But I want Wrexham to be the team who comes up from the playoffs, but I think they will be in the playoff. But there are also 2 extra teams next year, I think. Goes down to 8th, right? There are 2 extra teams next year, which means I think there's a quarterfinal. So what? 3 and 4 are on a bye, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5, 6, 7, 8 play each other to play the semifinals against 3 and 4, and then you have a final. Something like that, probably. But Burnley and West Ham come up 1-2. I think Wrexham is going to win the playoff. Southampton, if they don't, we'll see what happens with Southampton. A 4-point deduction you could live off of. You can get away with that. And I think they can make the playoffs. They play just as well as they did this year. I don't think it was all spying. Let's be real. Playing forward. Here's a chance. Palace. Nope, not good enough. Goes down. Advantage played. Wolves might be the team who... Richards is on the bench. Chris Richards is on the bench. He can play, but he is also torn 2 ligaments in his ankle, which makes no sense to me how he could still play on that. It makes no sense to me. This is football. How you... Either way. Yep. So, I think Wrexham is the one who comes up through the playoff. I think West Ham and Burnley finish 1 and 2. I think Wolves are in danger of being Luton or Leicester or Huddersfield that one time as well. I'm not saying they're going to get relegated, but I think Wolves are going to finish a lot lower than you expect. And by that, I mean out of the playoffs. And by that, I mean out of the playoffs. I don't know if it's going to be relegated or like 12th, but I don't know about, Wolves worries me. Like, they struck when the iron was hot. They lasted a long time in the Prem. But I think the project they had was a one-time deal. Like, I don't think they're going to catch lightning in a bottle again like that. They're going to have to build the team a different way. And what I think that means is they're going to have to rebuild. So next year is going to be a rebuilding year. And the question is, I mean, I know they have parachute payments, but that doesn't mean everything. Ask Luton, ask Leicester. It doesn't mean everything. So they can spend more on their team, yes. Do I think they will spend it right? Probably not. I have my doubts with Wolves. I have my doubts. '75th minute. Free kick for Rayo. I have my doubts. But then again, well, the only reason Southampton didn't come up is they spied. Which, I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying they were right by any means. Shot over the bar. I'm not saying they were right by any means. I'm not saying I support what they did. But kicking them out of the playoffs for spying, really? That's like heavy-handed. And I know back when Bielsa did it, they didn't have any rules over it. They made rules to punish it harder because of Bielsa. Mateta is off. I know the EFL did that. But, and I know they probably spied more than the 3 times they admitted it. Strand Larson on for Mateta. But now, would I spy if I was a coach? No. I mean, I've been on Herdman's ass a lot. But if a coach gets banned for spying, okay, I understand it. I understand it. Understandable. Kicking a team out of the playoffs because they were spying when they made the run that they did, it wasn't all spying. Now, would I be more of the coach that did what Bielsa did, as in make a giant PowerPoint presentation about everything a team does every week? Yes. But that's because I watch every game they play. Would I make a PowerPoint presentation detailing their set piece routines? Would I make a PowerPoint presentation detailing their changes in formation throughout a 90-minute game? Yes, but you can see that watching their games from film. Okay, Leeds didn't need to spy either, especially with the fact, if you remember that press conference where Bielsa had that PowerPoint presentation, he's like, tell me which game you want me to talk about. Pick a number. These are all EC Palazona's off. Pick a number. All of Darby's games. He had them. He did not need to spy, and he said that as much. But he said he would want to cover. He covered all his bases, which is why he did it. But there was no rules about it back then to actually make leagues pay for it. But you don't need to spy when you make a damn PowerPoint presentation about every team, about every game they play that you're going to play, detailing everything they do and who's the best matchup for this player. How do we play them against this player and that player? Trust me, there are a lot of things I don't bring up in my reviews that I have in the back of my head. Because one day, it's going to be a good thing that I didn't say everything. Besides, if I said everything, people would be like, what the hell? There are things I keep at the back of my head about other teams. Be like, yep, there we go. I got to keep it somewhat, I got to keep my reviews somewhat good for the common person or understandable for the common person. I can't say everything. But no, I don't make the PowerPoint presentations yet, but there are things in the back of my head, especially about the MLS teams and CONCACAF teams. But now for this game, I could if I wanted to. I mean, I don't think TFC will ever play Crystal Palace or Rayo Vallecano. I don't think we'll ever play them. I could say what I want. I don't think we'll ever play them because I don't think they'll ever be good enough to win a club or a UEFA Champions League, which means we couldn't play them in the Club World Cup or Intercontinental Cup even if we wanted to. Now, of course, you could be like, well, what about summer friendlies? Because, now we have the summer. Now we have summer, could have summer friendlies because, the schedule's flipping. I don't know. I think I'd rather play somebody else. If it was up to me, I think I'd rather play somebody else. But shot wide. Honestly, when it comes to preseason, when it comes to MLS, I would rather do it for fitness. I would rather build fitness than worry about tactics. Which means, hey, I'd rather go play Louisville City in Louisville, or I'd rather play Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Well, every other year in Louisville. Every free summer, the Club World Cup would change things, but every free non-Club World Cup summer, one in Toronto, one in Louisville. Every other year, it flips. Same thing with Pittsburgh. Every other year we go away. Every other year we play at BMO. That's the way I would do it, at least for the summer, a summer preseason. Now, with the winter warm-up, I'd still want to do that in Starkville, but, after the winter break. But either way, either way. 80th minute, 10 minutes to go, 1-0 for Crystal Palace. I think it looked too convenient. I mean, they honestly made it easy to catch that spy. Spicy double agents. Gentlemen. Please, somebody tell me they got the Team Fortress 2 reference. Gentlemen. Meet the spy. '81st minute. Delivery was funny enough. Honestly, if I was playing Team Fortress 2, I'd be a scout main, but But either way. Does this mean the Premier League Mogs every league. I mean, yeah, but you didn't need me to tell you that. Alfie made a video about it. HITC Sevens, he made a video about it, which explains it. The Premier League spends more money than any other team, especially at Conference League and Europa League level, and there are no dropbacks. So with this new format of the Conference League and Europa League where there's no dropbacks and they absolutely financially outspend everybody in this tournament, the best Premier League team left in the tournament, or the only one in terms of the Conference League, is going to win the trophy unless there's a big upset. Now, the good news is it's easier to upset a team through 90 minutes instead of 180. So if there's going to be an upset, it'll probably be in the final. But would it be more if there's a team who has a really bad season? Chelsea dog walk Betis, Olympiacos beat Villa, though West Ham beat Fiorentina. See, that's what I mean by big upset. Olympiacos was a big upset over Villa. And I think, that was the first? No, there were still dropbacks that year. So under this new format of no dropbacks, if you got eliminated from Europe, you're eliminated from Europe. Well, except for the play-in rounds, but, those are different. I think the play-in rounds put you in the tournament level you're supposed to be in. Either way, Olympiacos was a Europa League team. So, Villa was not what they are now either at that point. I mean, Unai Emery's a good coach, but they were not what they are now. But Olympiacos dropped back. There were still dropbacks. That was the last year of dropbacks. But that Olympiacos team was low-key way better than people would have expected or believed, I think that Olympiacos team, people didn't realize how good they actually were, I think people didn't give Olympiacos a chance because they played in Greece, but they were a lot better than people gave them credit for. Half that squad is gone, while El Kaabi is still there and the keeper. I mean, 86 minute. How many went to Forest though? just to ask, how many went to Forest? Let's not forget the same guy who owns Olympiacos owns Forest. Let's not forget. There's always a chance. But either way. '86 minute. Do you think the game remains scoreless from this point? At this point? Well, it's 1-0. What do you mean? Like, no more goals? Honestly, I think Crystal Palace, I think Rayo Vallecano survived the possible floodgates opening, But I still think Rayo loses, but 1-0. Palace were a lot closer to a goal 10, 15 minutes ago. Like, as soon as they scored that goal, there was like a 15, 20-minute span where the floodgates really looked like they were going to open, but they didn't. I think I think Rayo's overcame that. Now, I don't think they're going to score themselves. But do I think they're going to allow another goal? No. 87th minute. But yeah, Palace has been the better team. I mean, they deserve to win. Now, is it as dominant as Villa? No. Brennan Johnson about to win another European trophy. This time he had to, and it's 1-0 again. Oh. It's not 1-0 to the Spuds. It's 1-0 to the Arsenal. I know Brennan Johnson plays for Palace now, but he's still a Spud to me. I really love the commitment to the meme. How did Arsenal win the Premier League, guys? 1-0 to the Arsenal. Playing forward. See, I'm not as much of a jinx as you think. Playing forward. Headed away. I mean, I know City had 2 draws in the run-in, but Arsenal, it seemed like every result Arsenal had post-City was 1-0 to the Arsenal. It felt like, especially in the Prem, it felt like 1-0 to the Arsenal every time. Yeah, nice commitment to the meme. Go win the Champions League that way. Do it. Go, do it. Playing forward. Headed away. Excuse me. Throw in. Oh, okay, yeah. Munoz with a throw in into the 90th minute. 20 seconds to go, regular time. 1-0, 1-0, Crystal Palace. About to win their first ever European trophy. Oh, I guess they did, didn't they? Actually, now I think about it. Ball crossed in. 5 minutes of stoppage time. I guess Arsenal rubbed off some of that 1-0 to the Arsenal magic on Crystal Palace when they were there on the weekend. Hey. You know what, though? Speaking of mid-table Premier League teams, or at least what used to be Guard of Honor is where they applaud your team coming out after you won the league, which happened on Sunday. Header cleared away. Yep. Well, I guess it doesn't exactly matter where it happens as long as you win the league. Playing forward. Here comes Palace. I might have steered you wrong. That's out for a corner. Okay, I guess not. Either way, that's high. Which I guess they also do a Guard of Honor when you win a trophy because the runners up line up. I guess you could say they do that as well. I guess they also do it in that way too, but either way. Mitchell, man, that's 2 really good chances from a missed. Got 4 minutes, but okay. Either way. Playing forward. Two minutes in, yellow card. 3 more minutes to go. Palace are 3 minutes away from a European trophy. Their first ever European trophy as a club. Playing forward. Will Toronto get the 2027 Canadian Championship? Well, again, that depends. Oh, God. The guy who owns the Jets owns Crystal Palace. Oh, no, he's just the Johnson & Johnson. Oh. He does own the Jets. Ugh. Okay, now I don't know. I regret rooting for Crystal Palace. Two UEFA competitions for Palace. Intertoto Cup and this year's Conference League. So the first actual competition they've been in, they're about to win. They're going to make Woody Johnson a winner. I regret that one. That should be game, guys. Wide. 1:30 to go. Playing forward. I think it's been game. Goal kick. 1 minute to go. Over the top. Rayo playing forward. They have one last chance to send this to extra time. 1-0. 20 seconds to go. Palace has to defend for 20 more seconds, give or take. Can be much more than that. Brought down, shot wide. Goal kick. No. Corner. Yeah. But I don't think Red Bulls. I think we only need 2 more. Call the Pirate, you won't have to shave your head. Toronto calls the Pirate, you won't have to shave your head. If they don't, you might be in trouble. Whether they move Vancouver or not. And it's full time! Full time! Crystal Palace have won the UEFA Conference League! Jean-Philippe Mateta wins them the trophy! Rayo Vallecano fought their asses off to make this a tight game, which I kind of expected. But in the end, Palace still shows their strength and quality and wins the Conference League. Their first true UEFA competition, full season competition. They win it. They got here by winning the FA Cup last year. They got pushed down to this tournament because Marinakis is a greedy bastard. But that benefited Palace, and they've won the Conference League. Suck on that, Marinakis. You frickin' mobster. Guess what now, though? Palace will have Europa League next year. Glasner will leave them with UEFA Europa League football. They certainly have it now. They certainly have it now. $7-1. Thank you, guys. Thank you. No problem. Boom. There you go. Now they got your Europa League football next year. They certainly have it. Hold on. Top 8? 9 or 10? Oh, look, there was Rio Cardines on camera. He didn't do anything, but he won the trophy. With that being said, Crystal Palace won their first European trophy before Arsenal in GTA 6. Yeah, well, let's not meme about that, because 4 days later, guess what? Arsenal can win their first European trophy. So let's not meme about that yet. I memed about West Ham winning a damn European trophy before Man City. 4 days later, Man City won their first. So it's not worth it. Yeah, 4 days. They're not putting the Champions League final before a Conference League final. You're crazy. With that being said, well, as long as they don't get relegated like West Ham did, I'm sure they're happy they won this trophy. With that being said, though, now Chelsea would have traded that Conference League that they won for a Prem or Champions League or anything else. So certainly they would have, but they have higher standards. I don't know. I don't know why the Conference League finals after the Europa League final. I don't know. Probably because they're trying to build the prestige of the tournament, so having after the Europa League makes it more prestigious. I don't know. With that being said, Palace wins. First ever European trophy for the club. They've won it all. Well, they've won the trophy. They haven't won it all, but 15th place in the Prem, still wins the Europa League. Or still wins the Conference League and qualifies for next year's Europa League. Well, it's not exactly Todd Bowley's that's the problem. It's Egbali and Winstanley. But either way, with that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that hype button. Hit that join button. Become a member. Send some chats on the live streams. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah. Hit share, send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I'll see you within the hour for the review of this match. Crystal Palace are the Conference League champions. Well deserved. Rayo made it a tight game, but Palace still got it done. With that being said, there we go. Within the hour, we'll review the game, have the review up. I will see you then. Congratulations to Palace. Felicidades Palace. Commiserations Rayo Vallecano. And we're off tomorrow. Friday, we have the Champions Cup final prediction. CONCACAF. Saturday, we're live for the UEFA Champions League and RSR for that. And then we're live in RSR for the CONCACAF Champions Cup final. So, did I do it last week? No. We'll move on to the review. Sunday, we're off. We'll run it back for the Dynasty Stars, but we're off besides that. Monday, Canada plays Uzbekistan, and we got a month ahead. So, with that being said, see you later. I'm Ryan, and I'm out. Peace. See ya.